Can you hear
I
me?
can hear you loud and clear, darling.
Fantastic.
Fabulous. How do I look?
Beautiful.
Thanks, that's just the right answer. I'll pay you later.
Oh, fantastic.
You're looking very rugged tonight, dear. Well, hey, if we get stitched up, at least you'll do for me, I suppose. Get yourself out. Now, I'll behave, I promise. Feeling quite nice now, actually. Ha ha!
Cheers, Rydyn.
Right, one at the bun, no harm done. Drink
Yeah.
with me.
Well, I've got my brew with me as well, so, you know.
So, welcome to Paul.
Yay, hello.
Paul Davies,
Hey.
the presenter, the Equality and Diversity Ambassador.
Mm-hmm.
He's a model, he's a journalist, and he's so much more. Tell us about it, Minus.
Right. Well, I don't know what I'm going to tell you about, but what I do want to do, really, is, Paul, how are you doing at the moment in this COVID-19 lockdown?
Not too bad. Started off, I'm not going to lie, started off a little bit, you know, freaked out with everything, quite scary, you know, really, I got to be honest, a bit of an anxiety attack, I think, happened to everybody, I think, a little bit, you know what I mean, even if you've never suffered from that. And, but as the days have crept in and the weeks have gone by and now we're coming up to, you know, 2 months, I'm actually doing really well. I've actually fitted into the lifestyle a little bit too easy, I think, you know, but no, it's had its ups and downs, but it's been quite busy for me as well because I've been doing other things. So that's kind of kept me balanced a little bit, you know, so give me a bit of normality and stuff. But yeah, it's been tricky sometimes, but you know, and eating myself through house and home has been quite good. So yeah, it's been all right. It's been okay. It's okay.
Fantastic. Great to hear. So I am going to ask you a couple of questions now. So I need to get my reading glasses on.
Hey.
Well, look, my smartness improved by 1,000%.
Minus, you're very smart anyway.
Peanut brain, that's what I got. My talents lie elsewhere.
Oh.
They're clearly not in my trousers because I minus DeKock.
Obviously.
So basically, Paul, what I'd like, question number one for you is, how did you find growing up as a gay boy in the valleys?
Ooh, that's interesting.
Ooh, as a gay boy in the valleys. Well, actually, those are the words I heard quite a lot, gay boy. So, no, I think, you know, I'm a child of the 80s. I was born in 84. So for me, I think I was on a transitional period where things started to change in the valleys ever so slightly. So as I was a teenager, I mean, I was bullied. I'm not going to, you know, I kind of gloss over my childhood bullying, you know, thing, because I compare it to other people and they went through a lot worse in my eyes in comparison. They went through worse than what I did. And I don't know that's because I dealt with everything with humor and people were kind of freaked out about that because they were kind of, and it wasn't a defense mechanism at the time. I just like making people laugh. So for me, if I was bullied, and I know I was looking back, in comparison to other people and what I saw, it was nothing. I literally just scratched the surface in regards to other people. So coming from the 80s, I heard all the stories. I heard, you know, little things like my mom's quite a young mom as well. And so for her, when I came out as gay, she was just petrified because her friends were gay. And he was like, being gay in the valleys, you had to leave the valleys if you were gay. you know, and the only gay people that I knew was obviously my mum's friend who moved to, you know, Swansea, or you go to Cardiff, or you moved out of Wales completely, because unfortunately the mind frames of people back then just weren't educated enough. And I don't think, some of them were just bigots, don't get me wrong, they just were, right? But I think a lot of them were just down to education. It really was, and not seeing it regularly. And that goes for people of colour as well. You know, you think of how many people of colour was in the valleys back then, and then you'd see somebody black walking down the street and you just see everybody going, oh my God. But that's because it was curiosity. It was, but now, I mean, let's look at the positives in the Rhondda. We'll talk about the past, but the positive, we've come on leaps and bounds. And I have never been, when I heard the last year Pride was happening, I'm not lying to you, I was so proud of my home. You know,
that's fantastic.
That really was such a big thing, because it's all good having it, you know, it's brilliant in Cardiff. The absolute Pride Company is fantastic. Swansea and all this, but then to have in the smaller villages, the valleys, that's where it's needed. That's where the education is. It's got better over the years, you know, but the fact that you had it.
It was such a privilege to perform there as
it
well.
Was.
And the turnout was phenomenal. The support we had there as well, I couldn't fault it in the slightest.
Exactly. And just the fact it happened. The fact that Pride happened, no matter how big or how small, whether it was in somebody's bloody back garden, it happened. And it raised awareness.
And it was beautifully as well.
And do you know what?
Looking forward to doing it again. Well, hopefully we might do it this year, depending if the COVID thing will let us do it or not.
Exactly. And that's the difficult thing, isn't it? But, you know, to answer the question...
We might. I got my fingers crossed.
And stamped. But no, to answer your question, growing up in the valleys as a gay man, I think gay man with one hand as well. You know, that's what you got to consider that as well. So
I didn't even notice.
Babes, I tick every box. Do you know what I mean? It's brilliant for job interviews.
Tick every box single-handedly, darling.
But no, it was difficult, but I was lucky that I had the family that I've got and the friends that I was with. And wearing,
because I saw your mother at Pride last year, didn't I?
Yes. Oh God, my mum.
Oh, she's bonkers.
Oh God, she's hard work. She is.
I met your mum already. When are we tying a knot, babe?
Oh, she's fab. You know what? She's brilliant. I think she's a gay man trapped in a woman's body. She really is. But it's brilliant, because I never realised that when I did Pride Cymru, when I became Mr. Gay Wales. My mum was walking beside me in the parade, and you get wrapped up in everything. And it's not until I finished the parade, the march, and we stood there, and I just thought, my mum was there. How amazing is that? The fact that my mum came, and for her, coming to Cardiff from Erioed is like, oh my God, I've been at Cardiff. It's like, get over it, mum. Do you know what I mean? But for her, it's a big thing. And for her to be there, and I looked over and she had a tear in her eye, and I just thought, she is so proud of me. And so many kids in the valleys don't have that. Hopefully they do now. It's getting better. So yeah, I've been lucky. I've been very, very lucky, and and it's a privilege, and that's why I'm not somebody that'll sit on my soapbox and say, oh, I've had this and I've had that. Some people need to do that, and I wouldn't push them. But for me, I've been lucky. I have been bullied. But I kind of don't want to look at that. I want to look at how I can improve others, give them the love that I had, and support. And that's what Pride does, So
you
honestly,
and I are both so privileged on that one, Paul, because we can both call our mothers our best friends at the end of the day.
Exactly.
And unfortunately, there's so many people out there that can't say the same as what we can. I'm just so happy I'm able to do that myself. Exactly. So, question: how did Rhondda Pride actually impact things for the LGBTQ plus community in the valleys?
Well, I don't think we'll all see the impact for right now. Personally, this is my opinion here. I think having it on the day, the fact, the lead up, so pre-Pride, the fact that it was happening is enough. For some kids out there, I don't think we'll all really see the knock-on effect of what it's done for quite some time yet, because it's the younger generation that will feel that impact. They know they now belong. There is a place for them. Even if it's once a year, they have that one thing to look forward to. But what they've done is they've made connections there that you're not really going to see those yet. And you'll just see it start growing and bubbling. And I think, so for me, I think the impact was prior to Pride, to know it was happening, that you've always belonged. You've always belonged.
Oh, yeah.
But now you feel you belong, you know. And I think what it's done, I think for Treorchy in itself, which is just a thriving town now. Do you know what I mean? It's
wonderful up there.
It's just shown acceptance post-Pride, that it is accepted. You are accepted. You are loved. And actually, you've always been loved. We've always been there, but we've been behind closed doors, you know. Or we felt that we had to be behind closed doors. But so, yeah, so I think now it's proven to everybody else how accepting the Rhondda is. Don't get me wrong, it's still tough. It's still hard. And for some people, you've got to wait. It will get better, just maybe not just yet. But I think what
you're saying it's rough up the Rhondda and up the valley, sweetheart. I'm from Newport. That's the roughest of the rough.
But
I said to my other half the other week, I like it rough. He took me to Newport on a night out. Not what I had in mind.
No, I think for everybody looking at it, what Rhondda Pride has done is just shown how accepting we are, and that it is a place that if you are, you know, LGBTQ plus, you do belong here. You can come and live here. You don't have to second guess everything, you know. And so, and for those kids, which is what is important, so educating those people as well, it's just exposing them to us, to our community, and to our love as well. And
that's the wonderful thing about Pride events, because they cause so much exposure for everybody. There's so many people that get to see such wonderful things at these events. So what do you reckon? Yeah. What do you reckon the impact could be over the fact that there's been so many Pride cancellations this year?
I think, first of all, I think it's a shock. I think the impact is, there's multiple impacts. There's huge impacts. Obviously, you got to remember what Pride is about. It's not just a party.
No, it's a protest, fundamentally.
It's a protest. It was born out of prejudice. It was born out of not feeling, again, being accepted, you know, for not being accepted. So for some people, this is going to actually impact them massively. And this is what people don't understand. It's like, oh, well, I can't go. For some people, it really is a party. You know, get all their friends together. But what they don't realize is what that's doing is bringing people together. But for some people, that one day a year where they felt they could be them, they feel like, oh, I'm a little bit lost. But the positive is the fact it's made Pride rethink itself and connected with people in a different way. So I think all the prides that you see that have been cancelled, it's made them think differently on how to connect to those people that need it. And I think it's brought it back to the basics a little bit in some ways, without using it to be a party. Or, you know, they are celebrating with, you know, the drag queens, and look at this now, this is brilliant. Exactly. This is fab. And this is making people connect in a different way. And those that maybe wouldn't have ever gone to Pride will now connect in a way. And even if they're sitting upstairs right now, secretly watching this video, the impact this is having on that person is massive. How Queer as Folk was for me when I was younger, you know, and now Pride is doing that in a different way. It's not in the street, it's now in your home, you know. So
I also think what's really good, sorry, Tammy, I think what is also really good is that because the prides are having to go online, we're meeting other people who are doing prides, which means the prides are getting to know each other more, forming a bigger community and a bigger pride, which is just amazing. You know, so I've been asked to do a couple of things on various pride sites, and drag queens and kings that I've never seen before were suddenly meeting and sort of like making connections and getting in contact and sharing ideas. It's just really, really lovely, which wasn't really happening when we were all having our own individual prides.
I think don't get me wrong, for drag kings and performers within our community, it's had a knock-on effect financially, but I think it's made everybody come back together a bit more as a community. I really do believe that. I think for some people, maybe they didn't feel part of the community because some prides went down a route of being a celebration of equality through music, rather than going to the whole, the marches. It was a parade, and people can argue this and that, but but that's how things evolve for some people, and that's how pride has evolved. But what this is, and some people wouldn't ever go to those prides because they didn't feel part of that community because there was too many muscle Marys there, or there was too many this. But now they can pick and choose.
If you look at it, it's a mixture of everything, isn't it?
It is.
For instance, it's evolved so much since its origins. I mean, I can remember the first few Pride events that they had in Cardiff. I'm a lot older than I look for because of fantastic preservative, darling. But
are you like the Karen Walker of the group, are you?
I've been going to the Pride events for the last 15 years around Cardiff. They've been going now for about 20 odd years. I can remember when it was just like plank across a couple of barrels in Cooper's Field with someone with a little boom box, a couple of drag queens on stage, a couple of lesbians doing some henna tattoos, and a bloke on a store selling some giant dildos and a bit of information about what was going on with health and...
Well, there we go. Dildo sales have gone down then.
But now these days, you've got, it's more or less a family event. People are there looking around, and people are there's so much love at these events.
Yeah, they are. I
think it also provides, for the younger generation, new role models, sort of people that they can look up to, people that they can rely on, and which is fantastic. It's really great that in the community they've got something like this happening.
Yeah,
and definitely. It's also their own little safe place as well.
Yes, and that's what you were saying before. Like, some people, it doesn't matter what the Pride was, whether it was a big celebration of music or whether it was more of a protest, or some people wouldn't leave their homes. They would go to, what they would do is they would, if they lived in Cardiff, they would never go to Pride Cymru because there was too many people there. They didn't want to be. So what they would do is they'd maybe go out of there and they'd go to Brighton because that was way out of their way. So what this is doing now, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. I mean, they still have a place. They have to happen. They will happen. But the fact that Pride is now thinking differently and doing things like this, using the digital age to connect, I think it's, hopefully this will continue with Prides. I think this should always continue. And I think, I'm part of on the UK Pride Network, and just seeing how everybody's thinking differently about it, I think it's brilliant. I really do. And all the performers, all of you guys are absolutely brilliant. What you've done is really, really good. You have actually entertained the nation during lockdown. You really have. And, when the pubs open back up, I think what's going to happen, hopefully, the pubs will then go, book her, book him, book them, we'll do it. And that's where happens.
We'll get booking. Minus, there's hope for us yet.
Yeah. Well, no, they should, because you really have entertained the nation. Do you know what I mean? From drag queen stories online now to sort of, every Friday you're seeing so-and-so, and people are tuning in on a Friday night to go and watch a drag queen, which is brilliant, or a drag king, or different performers or contortionists, and I'm like, brilliant. So I understand from an entertainment background how tough that's been as well. And seeing all these prides cancelled, seeing all these, people's hopes gotta go, oh, but it's made people think differently, and so, yeah. So look on I'm Mr. Positive, hopefully, this has actually made everything different. But you know what? We'll have one hell of a Pride, whether it's later on this year or next year, isn't it? That's the thing. That's the thing to look forward to. So
I'm in it just so long as I can get drunk, darling. Hey!
I know you are, blinking heck.
Right, minus Europe, darling.
Well, yeah, I'm in it to sort of promote kings, really. And because people are like, kings? There's such a thing as a drag king?
Do you know what? Drag king is absolutely brilliant. And do you know what? It's on the rise, which is good to see variety as well. And that's the thing, is to see the variety on stage, it's, yeah.
It is great. So a question I wanted to ask you, when I was talking about being role models, did you have a LGBTQ plus role model when you were growing up?
Do you know what? I think as a child, I think you kind of connect to people or things or characters in cartoons or wherever, which aren't exactly role models, but you like something about them. So, ironically, and this is something I didn't even consider until somebody said it to me the other day, I love Captain Hook, right? I loved him. I love Peter Pan. If you come to my house, there you go. I love my movies, as you can see. You know, it's everywhere. You know, Doctor Who, everything. And I was obsessed with Captain Hook. I literally, I was obsessed with him, and that's because of his hook. And I didn't think about that. And I thought, oh God, yeah, that's the only character I know which has got a hook. And then when it comes to being gay and things like that, I always loved the British camp comics. You know, nowadays camp is used in such a derogatory way, where if somebody calls me camp, I'm like, yeah, you know, because I think of Kenneth Williams, I think of all the greats. Do you know what I mean? But yeah. I didn't know them as being gay then. I just thought they were funny people that everyone loved on TV. You know, and oh, shut that door, Larry Grayson. I think I'm a bit in my humor. I'm kind of like a bit too old for my age in that one. But I didn't have much as a child. I think when Queer as Folk came about, and I was 15 at the time, and
15.
Yeah, I know, babe. I know, tell me about it. I was literally obsessed. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think I bought the videos secretly. My mother was like, "Oh,
I think we were all obsessed with Queer as Folk, sweetie."
But I think that
we didn't get it in South Africa. We didn't get any.
Did you not? You didn't get that? No.
We got all the American stuff.
Oh, you got the which is very dirty. I can tell you that now. Now that one.
Oh, you what about the British one was filth?
You haven't seen the American one. They push the boundaries there. Let me tell you, when they go past series 2, blinking, even I was blushing. So, but no, and then so, you know, as I've grown up, my role models have come into place. But I think, you know, I loved these people when I was younger, the camp comics and all these kind of people, and I didn't really understand gay and all that kind of stuff. You kind of know, you know, I always liked, you know, men and stuff when I was younger. So I always knew I was gay. I always knew I was gay, but you can't put a word to it when you're younger until you're a teenager, and then you're either called gay or whatever. So that's when it comes about. But I think, you know, now I look at my role models. Now I know my true role models. In my 20s, I had role models just because it was a look or it was fashionable or it was. Now I'm in my 30s. I know my role models and what they stand for and what they've done and how they've impacted my life, you know.
So
and
who are they and why?
Who are they and why? Well, I mean, you've got to look at, say, McKellen, you know, being from an entertainment background, him, you know, Russell T Davies, and let's look at H, you know, Ian Watkins, and
I like Ian. I've been drinking with him a few times around the day. He's hilarious.
Do you know what? I loved Steps, right? I'm not gonna. There we go. I've actually got the album, but the dance one. It's just up there. So sad, right? So honestly, But I guess actually coming from the valleys, I really admire Ian, because he's somebody that was very similar to myself in regards to, you know, both very hyperactive people, fun-loving, that could be misunderstood.
Very misunderstood.
Yeah. You know, and I think, you know, and being fun-loving doesn't make you gay. That is who we are. We are fun-loving. We love people. We like making people smile and entertaining. That's not about being gay. But
I'll drink to that.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, I think, you know, you've got Ian, you've got Russell T Davies, you know, looking at all our Welsh icons. But then there's so many American women, and there's just too many to list. You know, I love Quentin Crisp. I love my Quentin Crisp. Obviously did cause some controversy during the AIDS a period in the 80s and stuff. But, you know, for somebody that lived through what he did, and he lived his life true to who he was from the start, that is a lot to do. You know, he was walking through London with his hair, you know, and I just think, good on you, Bach, you know. So I've got multiple people that I very much admire, and I thank them for doing what they've done and to get us here, to perform, you know, to be able to walk in the street, to hold hands. Okay, we're still looking over our shoulder, but we can hold hands now.
I like
because you're not new to performing, are you, Paul?
Am I new to performing?
No, I said you're not new to performing because you were a redcoat, weren't you?
Yes, I was. I was a Butlins redcoat.
No way, this is news to me.
Yes, entertainment is actually in my blood. When I was younger, I used to be, I was very, very lucky. I was on S4C, S4C, through school. I did the amateur dramatic Celsig in Treorchy, and they started me off, actually. They really give me my love for everything. And do you know what? That was doing amateur dramatics in Treorchy. I think that's where I felt the community. That's where I felt part of something for the first time in my life.
Yeah.
I mean, I did karate and things, but clearly didn't like that. To be stereotypical.
Do you dislike the karate, or the karate dislike you?
Let's just say I did it for 7 years and hated every second of it. Why I did it, I don't know.
For something you hated, you stuck with it a long time.
You know, but that's the thing. You've got to persevere. And then it got to the end, and then I left it to do Oliver.
Well, what can I say? We all want an Nancy in the end, darling.
On Papa. But yeah, so yeah, entertaining has always been in my blood. And I think being Welsh as well, we love performing. We see what it does for other people. We like making people smile. We're a happy bunch of people in Wales, and especially in the Rhondda. There's so many talented people there. But yeah, so performing has been in my blood. I did Red Coats, did that from 2002, and I loved it. It was the best job I did. It taught me everything from character animation, which is sort of mascots, to working with the best people in showbiz, such as Stephen Mulhern. He taught me how to be a presenter. So it was brilliant. Hosted the Smash Hits pop party when Smash Hits was out. It was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. And, you know, it's in my blood. It really, really is. I sort of take a sidestep every now and again, but being on stage and seeing people and knowing you are making them smile, whether that's through singing, dancing, whatever you're doing, just to cheer that person up is brilliant. And I think that's such a buzz as well, knowing that.
It is. Very addictive.
It's
a very addictive buzz.
Very addictive, very, very much so. And for some people as well, they suffer very much when the clapping stops. They go off stage. They go, "Oh God, I need that again. I need that buzz, that adrenaline feel." But no, it's love entertaining. So.
That's why it's been quite weird doing live performances online, because
Right.
you finish your song and you're like, "Oh, is that it?"
That's where you get a taste of TV life, thinking, are they going to clap? Are they going to like this? We'll have to wait and find out.
I think he needs to tell us.
For you. Sorry, Tammy, what were you saying?
No, you go, you fire.
I was going to go into my next question for you. Is I'd like you to give me a brief journey of your year in 2016.
2016?
Just the ups, the downs, everything that happened in that year.
So that year, oh my gosh, wow. Do you know what? That was actually...
You were a busy boy that year,
I was a
weren't
very,
you?
very busy boy. And do you know what? That was actually some of my highest points and my lowest points of my life. Yeah, very much so. Very, very much so. Yeah. It's absolutely huge year. I kind of put myself out there in a I don't know, I had just split up with my partner of 10 years. I didn't know what I was going with things, but I just sort of, for once in my life, I thought, come on, you need to take control rather than allowing somebody else. Because as much as I'm quite a gregarious character and person, and I like someone else to take control a little bit, because, you know, it's a lot. So we finished that. I got into Pink 60, doing the LGBT news, and then Mr. Gay Wales popped up, and I thought, right, I'm going to enter this. Let's see if I can, you know, be the first disabled guy on there, and can I make a difference? And I did. And then after that, I went to Prague to be a judge on their Mr. Gay. And then before you know it, I walked away with the Mr. Gay Universe title, which was just crazy. And then, you know, so through all that, you know, magazine, reaching different people, meeting people from my community and understanding my community, trans people that I'd never met before, and understanding that more. It was just this whole new world opened up, and it was brilliant. It was exhausting. It was a journey. It really was a journey. But unfortunately, at the very end of that, I lost my biggest fan, who was my gran. And that kind of it was the most weirdest experience of my life because I was still on such a high, but I crashed a little bit, picked myself back up, and it's only now I am actually stopping the grieving process. Believe it or not, it's actually taken that long. So that's been a long journey, but that year was insane, absolutely insane. I met some of the best people ever. My other Mr. Gays that I went over to Norway with, we are still like a little family, and it's fantastic, absolutely fantastic. So yeah.
Well, Paul, I just like to say on behalf of Rhondda Pride, thank you so much for coming on.
That's all right, no problems.
And having a good kiki with us.
Oh,
and
yeah.
So we're going to roll out the red carpet, and I'll ask you one last question.
Yeah.
And can you tell us what you've got going on at the moment?
What have I got going on at the moment? Wow. I'm currently doing nothing in the house, but no, currently I'm with Romesh Ranganathan at the moment, not with him, but he's in his garage. We are now back on BBC Two every Sunday with the Ranga Nation, which is a group of people with Romesh. We're his nation, basically. And yeah, so we're back on TV, giving our opinions on what's going on the topics of the week. And so far, it's actually been brilliant. And it's actually been a lockdown special that seems to work, where so many things on TV at the moment are not working. So fingers crossed, and a stump is working, and we've had huge figures watching as well. So it's been really good. So, but yeah, other than that, kind of waiting for things to kick off. I need everything to go back to normality a little bit. But yeah, but just busy with Romesh at the moment. So yeah.
Let's hope that it happens before September, and then we can see you again at Rhondda Pride.
Yes, I'd love that. I really, really would. And I'll be there with my little flag on stage with you, guys, you know. But yeah, with Mam in tow. Obviously, Mam's going to be there, you know, and she's my biggest fan. So, I mean, I'd be so...
Oh, I love your Mam. She's bonkers.
If you can find this, right, me and Mam did an episode of Back to Mine last year, where I was finding a date. Wasn't this one?
Were you actually with each other at that
No,
point?
we wasn't. No, we wasn't. We were on a break. No. We weren't together.
You see, Tammy, you had your chance there, but you missed out.
Sorry, babe. Sorry. No. We did that. If you watch...
Damn!
Sorry, Bach. Sorry.
I had my chance at Pride, didn't I?
You did, babes, but you did.
Shit. Damn. I should have had him in the dressing rooms.
You should have come back to the Trophy Hotel and caught me there. But no, it was, honestly, it was brilliant. But yeah, Mam on that show was hysterical. I mean, 2 peas in a pod. Honestly, I just had all different found love for my mom in that episode. But yeah, but thank you so much, everybody. But hopefully, Rhondda Pride will happen. If not, if it doesn't happen, it's for the right reasons, to keep us all safe. But can I just say, well done for this. Honestly, very good. It's good that things are still going on regardless if Pride is happening or not. So this is still important. So well done.
Thanks very much.
No problem.
And if not this year, definitely next year.
2021. Oh my God, I can't believe you're saying that.
2021.
Isn't that scary?
So I'm going to love and leave you.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Wonderful. See you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye. Fake round of applause.
Cameraman. Dwi'n gofyn bawyd mwy ddys a'i rofyd, na'i belai man, gofyn roif am galon hapus, galon onest, galon lan yn llawn daion
what I am. I am my own special creation. So come, take a look. Give me the hook or the ovation. It's my world, and it's one I take a little pride in. My world, and it's not a place I have to hide in. Life's not worth a damn till you can say, hey world, I am what I am. I am what I am. I don't want praise, I don't want pity. I bang my own drum. Some think it's noise, I think it's pretty. And so what if I love each feather and each spangle? Why not come and see things from a different angle? Your life is a sham till you can shout out loud, I am what I am. I am what I am, and what I am needs no excuses. I deal my own deck, sometimes the ace, sometimes the deuces. There's one life and there's no return and no deposit. One life, so it's time to open up your closet. Life's not worth a damn till you can say, hey world, I am what I am.